Hello and welcome back to that Peter Crouch podcast with me, Peter Crouch. Got Chris Stark with me as usual. Notorious is still in Florida.
Still on holiday. I mean, this is now week, something like 6, something like that. He's been away fucking ages. Who's playing the role of Steve Sidwell today?
Well, I've drafted a good friend of mine, Mr. Wayne Bridge.
Oi, oi.
Yes, mate.
How are we doing?
How are you, mate?
I'm all right. Yeah,
I've just seen Bridge on the school run.
Right.
So yeah, and, you know, he lives close to me. I think last time I saw you was at like the end of term thing, wasn't it? You know, the old
little play thing.
Summer picnic in the what they were all singing.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't think I've met you before, Wayne.
No, I don't think we have.
No. But I hear you're a fellow barbecuer, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not very good, so I need some tips, definitely.
Well,
I got the
well played.
I got the
That was good.
I'm trying desperately. We went a bit brazzers trying to get that in, but it didn't.
Did you not notice he did that left-handed? You just went straight in, right? So we said
Did that feel weird to you?
We said
at
on the
all?
last podcast,
No,
a
just-
left-handed handshake is bizarre, but he's left-footed. Are you left-handed?
right-handed. No, I just couldn't be bothered to change the mic over.
Yeah, maybe it's more weird when you go and greet someone with it.
Without a mic.
Yeah.
In
I
your
think if I
hand.
never had a mic, then I'd be like...
That's actually a good point.
He was distracted by the microphone.
Well,
in his
he's
hand.
holding the mic, so it's actually.
And I
more...
think you really insinuated that movement that just made me go
Also,
in.
there was some porno acting before it to get to the stage where I could find a reason to shake your hand.
In all honesty, we concocted this whole thing like he was going to do a left-handed handshake and see what happened, and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
And so you did well to get it in.
That's why I've been looking at you since the start. So anyway, we'll move on. But Wayne, it is good to have you on the podcast. And actually on that barbecuing thing, you're into it a bit, aren't you? You see, I receive a lot of abuse from Pete for the amount of barbecuing I do. So we should start it.
I really enjoy it.
Great.
I'm not very good at it, but I got that into it that my birthday present last year from my mum was the big green egg.
Big egg one.
The big one, the large one with all the
yeah,
wooden
no.
stuff around it, all the different compartments for like doing pizzas, and
Yeah.
I need lessons.
Yeah.
I definitely, and you're not far away from me. So
could do this.
we have to make sure we organise that, and we drag Crouchy in.
This is
So
the key
I'm
thing.
happy
You
to
can
come
just
and
sit there
enjoy
and
the
drink and
barbecue.
enjoy the food.
I know I'm going to enjoy the meat. I know I'm going to enjoy the experience, but
Yeah.
it's just the pretentiousness of dicking around for 20 hours, slow cooking stuff.
I actually think sometimes, depending who you've got over your house, it's quite good because then you don't have to speak to everyone.
That
It's
makes
true.
sense.
And you get out and it's under the guise of you're still cooking dinner, but you actually have your own time. You can put the football on. You know, you can have a couple of beers. I really like it. You talk about getting away from your family sometimes, Pete,
It
and
gets
having
you away.
golf to do that. Barbecuing sort of does that as well. But I'm pleased Wayne is here because I'm hoping by the end of this podcast we could maybe look to convert you more towards that side and ultimately end up in a situation where we have a lovely barbecue together.
What is your favourite thing to cook?
I love doing ribs.
Oh, I
love
love
doing
ribs, yeah.
but do it properly.
Slow, like a 3
Low and
hour.
slow.
Low and slow, yeah.
Fucking, if I heard the word low and slow one more time. Okay, no.
But I do think
First time I've heard it, I quite like
He
it.
loves it.
I like it as well.
I do think Pete will get into it at some point. But you know, I say about putting the football on. Am I right? Did I read that you don't like watching football? Is this a thing?
I don't not like it. I wouldn't go out my way to watch it. I like it if I'm in the pub. So I probably, maybe I just don't like it. I like being in the pub.
Yeah.
I'll watch it with my mates. I'll watch it with my mates if we're at the pub. Like I watch the Man City games against Real Madrid because they're just great to watch. But I will not go out of my way. I won't watch it at home.
So why is that then, do you think?
I don't think I was ever like that as a kid. I think as a kid, I'd always want to be out playing the game.
Yeah.
And then when my mates would go in and watch the game, I'd have to go in and look at it, but I get bored. I just
you
get
can
be
be
at
at
from
the
watching it. I'd
level
rather
that-
do it.
Yeah. Okay. So you won't watch football because you can't that fascinates me that you can be so good at something, but only enjoy it from playing it rather than watching it.
I definitely don't enjoy watching it. Yeah.
Can you relate to that?
No, because I do really. I've always loved watching football as well.
Yeah.
But I know lots of players feel like that.
Now, I wouldn't say not enjoy it. So if you watch Man City play Real Madrid, right, the way they played was great to watch, right? It was great to watch. But you could waste 90 minutes of your life just watching a shit game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why would you do
But
that?
I don't think. I mean, like Bridgie's different to a lot of people. I think you'll get over the course of this
No.
podcast.
No,
Like,
I
and
get
the thing
logic.
is, right?
I really get the
and
logic of it.
if you actually go to a game, you've got the travelling to the game, right? So you've wasted a few hours getting to the game, and then you've wasted the time getting back from the game.
Yeah.
So unless my kids really want to go and my mates really want to go, I will go. But for me, I wouldn't go, right, I'm going to go and watch football this weekend.
So this is like a chef that doesn't like food. Do you get the comparison?
I
there?
get it.
Because
I think that's very different, though, from playing football, watching football, cooking food, eating food.
But I
Totally
think what I
different.
find amazing about this is you are so good at football. It's the idea that it's only kind of as a job, I guess.
I think it kind of gets that way, depending if you're enjoying your football or not.
Yeah.
I think.
When you were a kid, like, did you not kind of like who's your influences? Like, who kind of inspired you to play football? Do you know what I mean? Were you like that as a kid?
I just remember kicking the football around with my dad, next door neighbour all the time, and then my mates. Everyone who lived in the area would all go out and just, as soon as you get home from school, I'd have dinner at like 4, because then I'd go out till 8, 9 o'clock and play football. So. And just loved playing the game. I'd go to Saints games with my dad in the family centre, terraced. There's a good vibe. I liked it,
Yeah.
but I would have rather gone and kicked a ball around. Do you know what I mean? I'd always, and there's players that I loved at Southampton, but I'd rather do it. Like the World Cup, for instance, I love sitting with my dad, putting the sofa up to TV and watching a few games. But I also reckon, if my mates are out playing, halfway through the game, and go, I'm going to go out and play now.
That makes sense.
Speaking of your dad, like, he's obviously a big character, right? My
Yeah.
dad, I remember when we were at World Cups and things like that, my dad, they still speak. My dad
really?
and Bridgie's dad. And he's a big character. Was he the main influence then for you?
I think so, yeah. He had me kicking a ball at a young age, and he loved Southampton, he loved football. So for me, it was such a buzz to make my debut for them, and him being a Saints fan. But I think it was my mum and dad in general, like they did it. You realise how much they've done for me, driving around all the time, and it become their life in the end, really, because they never missed a game. And my dad would go to every game just in case. Even if I knew I was on the bench, he'd go just in case I was going to get on. I'd be like, "Oh, Dad, like, don't bother." But he just loved it. He would never miss a game, whether it was England under 18s, under 21s, or if I maybe wasn't going to be in the squad, he would still go.
And I think that was similar to what my dad didn't miss a game.
Yeah, they got on so well, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's very kind of similar. I think that's why they got on. But I think at Southampton, I mean, there was you didn't miss many games either, did you? I just got a stat here: 113 consecutive starts, and that's without missing a minute.
Yeah.
That was a Premier League record at the time.
Yeah.
But how old were you when you broke into Southampton?
I made my debut just after my 18th birthday.
Yeah.
Just after,
And
yeah.
you just stayed in the team.
That must have
I
been
know,
so...
I didn't. It was kind of, it was hit and miss for me, because I came on, for debuts, I came on after 6 minutes, John Best was injured, and I started off as a winger. And I ended up in and out of the team for a little bit, and it wasn't until I got moved to left back that I kind of just, that was it. Didn't really move from that. But I think Southampton, we always struggled with goals, always in a relegation battle. So if I wasn't scoring or setting up goals, they'd always change it around. And it wasn't until I moved to left back that I really cemented that spot, really.
Did that change in your mind as well? So as well as it was doing for the team, did it sort of click for you when you moved into that position?
I think it was natural for me because I was never an out-and-out goal scorer. I was always a good crosser of the ball, but I was never going to score goals. I remember my debuts against Liverpool, I ended up going clean through and skied it over the bar. I was not I know it was terrible as well. We would have drawn the game, but I was not a natural finisher. And my game as a winger, I had so much energy that I wasn't that winger that would just not help the fullback out. I'd always run back and help out. So my energy was, I just suited the modern day left back of up, down, up, down. Do you know what I mean? And I was quite good at defending. I think when I first got my pro contract, is that I always listened to what coaches said, positioning wise and things like that. And I think that's what helped me as a left back. So I'd always help my fullback out. I'd always know certain positions. I took things on board that I was told. I think there was better players actually around my age that they just didn't listen and they would just good with the ball, but didn't listen what coaches had to say.
Yeah, but you didn't mind them saying to move back to left back, because it feels to me that most young players would probably, arguably, and correct me if I'm wrong, be more keen to be moving forward up the pitch to some of the more glory positions.
I think at that time definitely, but now
it's
like
different
it's
now.
kind of a sexy position now, isn't it?
Yeah, and when Glenn Hoddle come to Southampton, we played the 4-3-3 formation. It was literally like he wanted me just bombing on. So it didn't really affect my game that much. I still got forward. I just started at the back more. But like I said, I had loads of energy, so I could get up and down all day. Just a bit more running, but I was good at that.
But you know, like where does that come from, Bridgie? Like I don't know. There's probably people out there that have seen you play and know that you can get up and down, right? But I don't think they know to the extent.
Yeah.
Whereas when you play with you and know you like I do, like I don't think that if someone said to me who's the fittest man you know, I would say Wayne Bridge.
Really?
And I don't know, it's the definition of work hard, play hard, right? I've seen someone,
that.
so he does go big, but I've never known anyone be able to get up and just, for instance, the bike ride you did with Sids and Joe Cole. Like there was a professional cyclist, right, in the bar. Is that right?
There was not as professional, very good cyclist. He competes, and there was a lot of people that ride bikes all the time. So there's one really good, and then a lot of people that ride them all the time. And I've never been on a bike ride before in my life. Rode a BMX, but that's about it. It was for charity. I think it was like 4 days, and I was just chilling at the back with Siddy and Joe who were on it. And then every time we'd finish, we'd just go in the pub, drink all night, and just get drunk. And I think it was one of the last nights, or second to last night, one of the guys, well, yeah, we didn't expect you to be this unfit at the back. And I was like, it's a charity bike ride, mate. And I was like, are you having a laugh?
Oh, there's like a 4 days,
Pissed every night.
It was a 4 days. Did he actually say it to you with his lycra on?
Yeah.
But it was at the pub, and where I'd had a few drinks, I went off on one. I stood up and I made everyone listen. And I was like, I'll wipe the floor with a lot of you. I went, you have not got a Scooby what my fitness levels are like. And
but
they all started to bet. They got a book out in the end. I was bet all of them money, and in the end it started dwindling because how confident I was.
So they're all cyclists.
They all must be
They
thinking this
all
is
do
pub
it.
chat.
Like
This
I'd
is
say
pub
half
chat.
of them do
He's
it.
drunk.
Yeah.
But like I know him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking he's gonna have them.
Half of them do it a lot, right? Half don't want to take the bet. So in the end, they've got a side bet. They've got little bookies going on. Then they've got a couple of them like betting 500 here and there. And then this one guy who's like giving it everything. So I can't remember how much our bet was, but it might have been a bit bigger. And I said to him, right, but you can do what you want, but I'm still going out tonight and I'll still beat you. Right? He ends up going to bed early, right? I get in a reasonable-ish time, but we're staying in like these, the shipping containers. It was like a weird thing we were staying in, like converted into rooms. I woke up at like 6, I was smashing on it, like going, let's fucking go. Let's fucking have everyone set. I'm there, wait. Wow. Right, we get to this hill, and I went, right, let's see what you lot have got. And I just went, bosh, like that. Mate, nowhere to be seen. I waited at the top of the hill.
So you waited for him?
I waited. They were going, well, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And like, honestly, I just gone. And what I did is I stayed with the front pack. And not even like some of them were doing, well, yeah, you ain't bad, to be fair. I went, mate, this is easy. Like, I'm only staying with you because I don't know where I'm going. Like, if you want, when we're 20 miles out, we just go. And we got to that point and went, right, are we racing for this last bit or not? Because if so, I'm just going now. And they were like, oh, no. Why don't we just ride in together as like a team? It's only for charity and all that. So like I did it, but then I just made sure I pipped it at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
so you came first, and then how far behind was the guy in the
2
lycra
hours.
and the helmet?
I sunk 8 pints by the time we got there.
That's unbelievable.
Right, so I don't know if I'm listening to Jay from the In-Betweeners right now, or
Well,
if this is
right,
this
the
is
thing
real.
right, because I brought it up, right? Because I've seen it firsthand. The fella when he did SAS Dares Wins, right?
Of course,
and
yeah,
the fella said, who is it who said that if anyone who could actually be in the SAS, he said
Is that
Bridget.
Foxy,
It's
right?
Foxy. He said, obviously, it's a TV show. like, is there anyone out there that could maybe make it? And he was like, no. And he went, oh, probably 2 or 3 maybe. And then he just went, oh, actually, probably one of the celebs, Wayne Bridge, because he's an absolute animal.
And I can vouch for that as well.
But also, I climbed. Like, it was like Joe Cole called me. It was Joe Cole wanted to do this climb for charity. He was giving a lot back to the NHS and stuff. So he wanted to climb Mount Blanc, and he thought, who should I climb with? I've got to climb with you. He says, would you do it? I said, yeah. So it's like, all right, well, it's 2 days up, get back down, and we can have a night out and then fly him the next day. So we get there, a bit of training and everything. There's a couple of moments where Joe was just like, can you shut the fuck up during training? Because he was like, you're just too perky and I'm fucked. But anyway, it was like a 2-day climb. What is with that? You climb, there's a bit of a walk and then a bit of like rock climbing, which I didn't enjoy, but Joe did. And we get to the halfway hut. And then we're like, oh, why don't we just go to the top now and back down? And he was like, oh, the weather's not great, but don't look great tomorrow either. And I was like, Joe, if we do it now, we get 2 nights out instead of 1. And Joe was like, well, I'm a bit nervous. I mean, you've basically got to sleep in a room with 100 people. And I was like, Joe, I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep in here with all these people. Just, I don't know. He went to me, no, geez, honestly, I'm really nervous about it. Can we just go tomorrow? I went, yeah, all right. So I ended up in the bar just drinking and then went to bed and just snoring my head off. So I had a few drinks and Joe couldn't sleep all night. But anyway, we start the climb and he's right. He's got 6 hours to the top, they said, and probably about 3-4 hours like back down. I was up and down within 6 hours.
Really?
Yeah. And it was, I was like, you just keep moving.
Why are you such an animal then? Why do you think what?
I've always trained hard, but I don't know if it's a mental thing. I'm obviously trained hard, but it's a mental thing. It's like, does your mind give up before your body?
Yeah.
And that's why I just keep moving your legs. I don't know why you'd stop.
Is it just a driven thing then?
I'm definitely driven.
Yeah, but when I'm hungover, I can't be around anyone. I need a day off. Like I can't function.
I would say don't overdo it, but do something because it will make you feel better.
Yeah.
And the danger of that is if it makes you feel better, you might end up wanting another drink. but no, I'd say it definitely helps. Just don't overdo it.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's another mental side of the thing. It's like you're just feeling sorry for yourself. Just get over it and get on with it.
I do like the mentality a lot.
It's amazing. But as a footballer, you're quite protected, aren't you? Like you're not allowed to do things that are too extreme. But now I guess you boys can do whatever you want.
That's
you
the
can
thing,
fucking mountains, skiing,
but that
skydiving.
I don't look at like going 300 miles on a bike or climbing Ben Nevis. Like it's something. Yeah, maybe I'd do it, but it's not like I don't. It's not something I'm really thinking about. But with you, I feel like it's kind of a mental
thing.
I think
it's because I don't have to use my brain.
You want to achieve it,
Right.
Yeah. Never really done that well at school, so it's more the physical side of things.
Do you want to keep doing these things? Do you want to find more and more? Because the problem with doing something extreme, then to get bigger high, you need to go and do.
I would if the opportunity comes around, I'd do it. But I'm also one of them people that if it takes me away from my family for too long, I might not do it. But I do love a challenge.
Yeah.
I do. It's like, I know it sounds silly. It was like I went to a rugby tournament that I played in last year, but I didn't play this year because my knee's so bad. And it was like a couple of 20-year-olds talking about fitness. Oh, I smashed one of your gym workouts you did. Like I smashed your time. And I went, I didn't even do that time. But like I can already tell you now I'll beat that. And it's like, but they're 20 odd years old. And I went, you're just deluded. Like, and I could just tell by their mentality.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think it's the
then,
competitiveness? Do you
Oh,
think
it's
it's like
definitely
someone will say to you and go,
competitive.
I'll fucking have you?
I think he's saying
And
he
I'm
can
also
beat
like-
anyone.
I'm backing him as well, though.
Look, I know I wouldn't beat anyone, but also there's a lot of people out there that are very deluded in terms of what you can get, what you can do in the gym. And because I know there's people out there that will smash me. When I see certain, like him, for instance, I was like, mate, I'd beat him, right? It was an assault bike, a row, and a ski erg. And I'm going to tell you now, I would have beat him if I had one arm and one leg.
I mean, can we arrange that?
I'm telling you now, I smashed the life out of him with this. I reckon I would have beat him one arm, one leg. I've seen him on the ski erg, mate, and I could have beat him with one arm.
I'm sort of seeing a kind of challenge Wayne for Crouch.
Right,
Fest,
if you feel like you could beat Wade at anything,
At
get in
anything.
touch.
No CrossFit people.
We'll make it happen. What's your forte? Like, what are you good at?
I'm probably the unfittest I've been, and I've started training a lot over the last week, 2 weeks. More the horrible 40-minute workouts where you're on a assault bike, really going for it, and then something in between, and straight back on it, and just stuff like today I did a ski erg where it was like I'd smash out 20 calories as quick as I could, and then I do 10 press ups, and I'm back on it doing 20 calories again. So there's no rest. It's like you just got to keep going and get through it. Yeah, that intent. I like that side of things and really pushing each other. Like I've had I'm sure Danny Kerr won't mind, but he came round for a workout and he threw up outside the gym. Yeah,
no.
And he was that was during season as well.
Still
He's quite fit. Yeah,
And how were you feeling at the time?
I was just laughing.
You're right.
So he was throwing up, right? He's a professional rugby player, plays for England.
I wish
he was throwing up and you were laughing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's astonishing, isn't it?
Well, honestly, I just love delving into it. I love hearing the stories.
And there's me doing a 20-minute walk/run on the
what's
on
your
the
thoughts
treadmill.
on the walk? Let's go for a walk sometimes.
I do, mate. It's all I can manage.
Did you do it on your own though?
Yeah, I do, and I struggle
We
to
can
be
barbecue
motivated.
and train together.
Well, hold on a minute.
Well,
let's do this.
That's a whole new thing.
Let's
isn't
sort
it?
this out, right? I want to put you both together, right? And I want you to work out and barbecue after.
In what order? Or do
I
you
think
do
we
both?
need to work.
barbecue after. No,
That's true, but I don't think you could eat ribs and then do your.
Yeah, but I'd be far more motivated if I was on say a treadmill whilst a chicken was rotating in front of me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And actually, I'm doing that anyway, so I might as well be running whilst I'm waiting.
Yeah.
This next part of the podcast is sponsored by Brewdog. Elvis Juice is our drink of the month on the podcast, and as I'm sure you know by now, it is the king of IPAs. Right. Last time we did this, it was one of my favourite bits of the podcast, bizarrely. Yeah. Urge you, please don't skip forward at this point. We have sort of ended up doing a kind of talent show around people trying to win some of these Elvis juices for themselves. And we've basically asked you, what are you the king of? And you guys have been phenomenal in the response.
Well, last week's winner, can we play that for Wayne or not?
We have to. We have to. Did you send it to Ed Sheeran?
I did, yeah.
Have we had a reply?
I do have a reply, Chris, yes, but we're going to have to do that another time.
Okay.
At the moment.
Fine. Great. Wayne, we need to play this to you. Right. So this was a guy who sent this message, and all he said was, "I'll do Ed Sheeran."
No, he didn't say that. He said I do the best Ed Sheeran you have ever heard. He was having himself.
Yeah. And it is.
Take it. He's good then.
It's really good.
Well, listen.
With you between my arms, we barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite songs. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath and said you heard it, darling. You look perfect tonight.
So
he's having a laugh.
No,
he
he's
has
not.
to be.
He's not.
You don't
no, but
think
you know, some people, some people think they're good and they're not, and yeah, I feel a bit bad saying he's not good.
I said it was Chris Eubank last week.
It's really good.
Wowza.
Okay, so on that, he won, by the way.
He won. It was a hands
sent him.
down one. I think it's incredible.
So we've got a couple more entries. Boys, do you want to hear them?
Yes, please.
This one's from Gareth. All I know about this is he's doing accents.
Well, I'm brilliant at them, as you know, as I've proved.
I've not heard this yet. Here we go.
Right, Crouchy, son, my gift, yeah, it's not a talent, it's a gift, is probably accents. I do any accent, literally all over the world, apart from that place that you went to, was it Zulu or that place in Africa? Anyway, the thing is,
oh my God.
Just on a quick one, that's Vanuatu.
Yeah, I think it's referencing Vanuatu there.
I've actually booked myself some tickets to come and see you down at Crouch Fest, so I have, And I'm now thinking to myself, like, I'm actually really excited for you, for your family, for your team. It's just going to be a great occasion. And, yeah, you know, I am thinking that, you know, I may come up on stage, I may strut my My little tussie up on that stage, I'm 6'3", 11.5 stone. Yeah, I'm built like a fucking beanpole, but you'll do nothing, Crouchy. You'll do absolutely nothing. There's many more, mate. But yeah, if you want me up on stage, give us a shout.
So I don't understand. So
Give me a shout at the end.
but he does. What is it like? Regional accents?
Well,
Or what's that
I'm
impression?
pretty sure it's Conor McGregor, no?
Yeah, but who was the Scot?
No, he's just.
Who
I
was
think
the
he's
Scot? Where
just
was the
doing
Scottish?
regional
Is there
accent.
Scottish in
There was
there?
Scottish in the middle,
Was
wasn't
there?
there?
Well, I just think
Play
he's
it
doing
again.
a generic.
Or generic Scot?
It's a
Yeah,
generic
just a
Scot.
generic
Thank you,
Scottishman,
Gareth,
yeah.
for that. Okay, this next one, no name who this is, but they want to do an impression of Johnny Bravo. I don't know who Johnny Bravo
Yeah,
is.
the cartoon character Johnny Bravo.
Hey, I'm Guy, and I'm the king of the Johnny Bravo impression. Oh, mama.
Oh, I've just realised Johnny Bravo's the geezer of Entourage.
No.
No? Then he do Johnny Bravo.
It was really quick, that. We'll go again.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't.
That was it. One sec. Blink and you miss it.
Hey, I'm Guy, and I'm the king of the Johnny Bravo impression. Oh, mama.
Okay, well, they're the first two. Who's your favourite out of those two?
Tough on that. Do you have to like one of them?
I don't. I think Johnny Bravo edges it for me.
Does he?
I don't know. Just
Yeah. It's just so short.
but is that not the beauty of it?
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to have to take
I think
it.
Johnny Bravo's
Let's
winning
hope third one
Short and
here,
shit.
third and final, is the best.
them. Okay.
This is from Matt. I know nothing about what this one is.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
Oh.
just go with it.
It's the beauty of it.
Just been told it's a bird impression.
Fucking course it is.
As
Okay.
in bird is in a bird that flaps its wings.
I could go either way.
Hi, my name's Matt, and I can make the sounds of an exotic bird.
Mate, that wins it for me because it's so shit.
Do you want?
That has to win it.
Do you want that
so
once
bad.
more, just to?
What have we become? Are we?
Hi, my name's Matt, and I can make the sounds of an exotic bird.
I think it's the voice build-up and the bird sound that wins it for me.
Yeah,
Fine, it's a clear winner there.
Matt.
The bird, yeah.
Where did that sound come from? What was being done to him?
Well, I like it.
Okay. Well, fine. In unbelievable scenes, Matt, it appears you've won.
Well, I've got a new entry, and I don't know if you'll thank me for saying this, but didn't your mate once, was it at your wedding,
At my wedding.
had a rap that you wrote?
Apparently, I wrote
And
it.
he
It's
sang it.
apparently. I remember being at home one night. We watched 8 Mile, and I think it was on a hangover day. We decided to have a rap battle, and apparently, I wrote this rap down, and it was my rap.
He's kept it.
He's kept it, and I don't know. That's why I think he's made up. He couldn't have kept it that long. Are you ready for this?
Very.
Kick the beat. You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
My name is Bridgie, and I drive a black bullet. I'm a baller with a bling to go with it. I tear down the wing and I rape defenders in it. I ping the ball of beats and put it to the net to win it. We go to the club, we celebrate with gin and juice because we got the tonic. In the club, we take no shit, we boss it. Any mother ever wants some, I spray them with my AK and end it. Mansions, cars, watches, bitches, the sky's the limit. Because I got so much dough, I don't know what to do with it. Remember the name, it's Bridgie, innit?
Sorry. So you wrote.
Richie,
So you've
yeah.
written the words for that.
Apparently, I remember doing a little rap battle, and I wrote them down, but I can't remember them being the words.
Mansions,
Who would anyone ever
watches,
admit to them being the words anyway?
Mansions, watches, bitches.
In it, Richie, in it.
Man, come to us with AK. Bridgie, innit?
Okay.
Wow, incredible. So, what is it? A bird
Watch
noise?
out, Eminem.
Is it a bird noise? Is it Bridgie?
It's bird noise or Bridgie's. Was it your best man? Did you say?
Yeah, he done it at my wedding, yeah.
Amazing.
But apparently, I wrote
Well, can we
it.
give the Elvis Juice to Bridgie's mate or not? Or is that
What, do you want it?
insider trading?
He lives in Canada.
Does he?
I'll have it.
well,
I'll have it.
Okay.
I think we give Wayne Bridge some Elvis Juice
Yep,
this week.
agree with
I'll
that.
be honest with you, it wasn't our strongest 3 messages. Elvis Juice to Bridgie, innit? I don't know where we are anymore.
Don't drink and speak, yeah?
Well, Wayne, you got some Elvis Juice coming your way from that fantastic rap you wrote 15 years ago.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
I've got to move this across to some things that I need to say before we crack on with the pod. If you're listening to this, the day we've released the episode, then this is your last chance to be in with the chance of joining us at our next event down at Brewdog Waterloo. Our last one was awesome. We had such a laugh, didn't we?
Oh, but it was special.
Well, we're still sort of
Well, it
celebrating.
It went on after as well. It was good.
It was very good. Just head over to brewdog.com/crouch and buy a pack of Elvis Juice and you'll be added into a prize draw for tickets. Get buying. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Do you think you could have done anything else? Obviously, incredibly fit. Like what?
I was quick. If I could have got into athletics, because I was at an athletics club, so I was quick. Like I was I'm probably a lot quicker than what people thought. And I reckon playing football, I had a couple of injuries around 16, 17, which I put a bit of weight on. So I got a bit bulkier, so I probably slowed down a little bit. But I was running the 400 at probably 15 in like 50 seconds. I was running 100 in 11 seconds. And I loved athletics.
About the walking race, we've talked about this. Pete's adamant he could beat Steve Sidwell in a walking race.
It depends on your techniques. Have you seen the walking techniques? And they've got their arms up and shuffle.
They waddle.
But who's your money on? We're looking at doing this for Crouch Fest. There will be other things on in case
Why
you're
are you
listening
thinking
to
you're
this.
smashing because of the stride length?
Well, there's a stride length, but obviously you got the power factor from Sidwell's quads.
Which fast twitch muscles, yeah, and he's got big
got
quads.
Those quads. You know what I mean, I don't know whether it's the quad or the length of stride. It depends what camp you're in.
I just don't think I can call that one.
I can't
call it.
It's bizarre, isn't it? It's like Street Fighter where there's two different sort of
styles.
beasts, two different styles.
You can't call that.
It all comes down to Crouch
Is it happening?
Fest.
It's going to happen.
Oh,
mate.
right.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Crouch
forward
Fest,
to that.
November the 4th.
Can we barbecue for it?
Yeah, me and you will be barbecuing in the corner. The lads will be walking. That's basically the plans for Crouch Fest so far.
There is some more going on as well.
There is some more. We promise
But
you
do
that.
you know what? We talk so much about your fitness and stuff. I find it really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do as well. But you're obviously had a great career as well. Started so early at Southampton and playing for your hometown club. Like how proud a moment was that, and how kind of how much did you enjoy being at Southampton? I missed you. I came just after.
Yeah,
you left.
just after me. I was gutted. Yeah, because me and mates talking about it the other day actually that I just missed you. I just loved it. For me, it was just like I was free. It was probably the only time in my career I just felt free. It was just play football. And all my friends supported Southampton. Dad supported them. For I think I don't know how many. I think something like 8 tickets. So like mum, dad, a couple of the family, sister, and then like loads of friends. Even my cousin was crying, who never cries in his life.
That's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it's not just for yourself, but for your family.
Yeah, it's amazing. The local pub round the corner where I used to go. Well, I used to go every weekend, even when I was playing. It was like they're all in there watching it, and then you'll come back and everyone's like, it's the best feeling ever. Like I just can't put it into words. I played really well as well, but then just skied one over the bar, which is the only downer on it really. But
what a time as well though. Didn't you? Did you play in the cup final team? Did you get to the cup final, or did you left before then?
My debut was after. I'm sure I'm gonna have to double check this. I'm sure it was after that time when Michael Owen scored that goal against Argentina.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was the debut against Liverpool.
Right.
Yeah, that was when my debut was.
And what were your best moments, kind of, for the Saints?
I can obviously say my first goal and like the cup final. The only thing with the cup final is, my mum brought it up the other day actually, because I remember the cup final. I was just devastated. I remember crying. Didn't know it was going to be my last game either. But I remember my mum saying you couldn't even go and speak to your dad. I couldn't really.
Why?
Do you know what I mean? He's just such a massive Saints fan. And I just know how gutted I just couldn't go and speak to him. Like I was definitely one of them that I had to switch off from football after a game. I didn't like talking about it afterwards, and I was really lucky because of the way I am. My mum and dad never put no pressure on me. They knew I never really liked talking about the game after. I know if I was crap. I knew what I'd done wrong. I knew if I played well. I didn't like praise, and I didn't like the other side of it either.
Yeah, but there's not many players whose final game's an FA Cup final, right?
No, yeah. I was gutted. I didn't actually want to leave, if I'm totally honest, because I was just happy there.
So Chelsea
And I don't like change. Right? Yeah.
And so how did it come about, and like how?
Well, and you must have been gutted as well, because at Southampton at this point, you've got keys to the city, you've got free reign of Leisure World. You're treated as
Leisure World was great.
You're treated as
I'm not sure how it'd be now, but it was good.
About it before.
Yeah.
You're treated as a hero, a hero at Hot Shots, Jumping Jacks, Icon Diva, I assume. When the night's right.
Yeah, it was very hard to leave, and I can be quite shy, and I don't like new things a lot. But it's just one of them opportunities that I just couldn't really say no. And with Rupert Lowe, he was just like, he was not going to give me a new contract. He didn't believe in, if you're doing well, you get money. You're too young to have money. But I was always like, okay, well, you're going to give me loads of money when I'm 30 and I'm shit.
Yeah. Do you think looking back then, they could have, if the attitude was different and actually it was more, his is a story that could be a massive win for us, homegrown, clearly going places. If there'd been a bit more desire on that front from Rupert Lowe, if you're saying, would you have stayed at that point?
So I remember going in, scored in Strachan, and it was like, so my agent was like, oh, you've got to go in and speak to him. And I feel like it's this thing these agents did, which didn't really need to be done. And I'd go in to speak to Strachan, and he'd went to me, fuck off, you ain't going nowhere. So I just walked out the room like that. Cheers. He said, I'll rip your fucking transfer request up. And then that was it.
Did you hand the transfer request in?
I didn't really give him the bit of paper, but I said, and then he was like, well, yeah, basically. And then obviously my agent dealt with Rupert Lowe and everyone at the club, and then that was it. I was gone. Like, he was gutted. But so I actually cried. I had to say goodbye to him and I cried. But he's horrible as well, Strachan, sometimes. It was my last training session. He knew I was going, and he just absolutely run me into the ground. Everyone was battering me. This is your fucking fault because you're going. So I was getting the blame for everyone running, and it was just like, it was horrible.
I've never heard of an exit sort of, you have initiations in football, but I've never heard of this sort of exit beasting.
Get run into the ground.
Strachan's different, yeah. I loved him, he was great, but he's definitely different, yeah.
So you make that move and you leave Southampton. They've kind of quite aggressively dealt with you on the way out, as is the Southampton way. And you're out and you head towards Chelsea. Were you nervous about that move? Because suddenly you're out of the maybe slightly more comfortable surroundings with your family there and venturing out. Was that a strange feeling?
It was Abramovich's first transfer window as well.
It was.
And it was massive news, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was big. It was like, who are they going to sign? I think it was like Makelele, Joe Cole, Glenn Johnson.
It just comes with pressure, doesn't it? It comes with pressure. What I realise is the more you move around, you play with a team, they kind of know how you play and you get to know everyone, and you go to a team which is totally different. And it was totally different, but it didn't take me too long to settle. But I was nervous because it comes with a price tag and more money, and then if it doesn't go well, you're just going to get battered for it.
It was a big change at Chelsea then, wasn't it? And I think, what did you find? Did you find what were the standards like when you arrived at Chelsea at that time, or was it still in a transitional period?
Oh, the standards are high. It got high when Mourinho came along, but it was high. But I'd say when you talk about it like that, the only difficult time I really found was Chelsea to Man City. I was at Chelsea where the whole team was a unit. It was like no matter who you had in front of you, whether it was Joe Cole, Sean Wright-Phillips, Damien Duff, Robin, like we worked as a proper team. Like you defended as a team, you'd work for each other, you'd always know what you're doing. I went to Man City and I was just like, oh my God, got Robinho in front of me, he ain't helping me one bit. I'd overlap him 10 times, wouldn't get it once, and I'm just like, I might as well just stay back. Like it was just so different for me. So I found the Man City transition really hard.
But being the first sort of big bundle with Abramovich, was that, did he contact you personally? Or was a gift sort of sent to you? Like, how does it work with him when you're brought in under that?
That was all just through my agent,
Was it?
That was just literally all through my agent. And then met Ranieri, and then I think the first time I met Roman was on the pitch at Stamford Bridge. And what I loved about him, he just rocked up with his Casio watch on. Billionaire just rocks up a little Casio one. I thought it's just brilliant.
So good.
I loved him as well. I thought he was great.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
What was your first encounter with Mourinho like when he comes in?
Just intense.
Yeah.
It was the training. Do you know, like sometimes in training it can be a little bit. There's a little bits in training I think can be a little bit relaxed. You know, whether it be like a little keep ball as you start or a little passing drill, and as soon as someone didn't look like it or a little straight pass, he was just on it straight away. Stop training. It's got to be like this all the time. You got to be on it. There's no time on this training pitch where you're not on it. So that it created a different mentality with a lot of the lads, and he just demanded. And I guess it's probably like when you was to Liverpool. I bet like Stevie G and Carragher like that. They would have demanded stuff.
Demands go up, don't they?
Yeah, it was just he was very demanding.
The season before Mourinho started, you scored a goal that put the Arsenal invincible side.
Well, I remember it clear as day, that goal. My dad's a Chelsea fan. You know, I've got friends, obviously Chelsea fans. You know, little George over there is a big Chelsea fan. He's probably about 6, to be fair. But oh, he's 3.
Do you remember it?
George's first word was bridge.
He can win it here.
I've
never seen it.
Mate, what an amazing, what a great goal.
Talk
I
us through
couldn't
that.
stop
Talk
smiling.
us through it all.
It's hard to talk you through it, really. I just remember the ball coming across to me and giving it to Ida, and he put it on a plate for me. I just slotted it in the bottom corner, but it was just the feeling. Because I don't score many. I just remember just belting in towards the fans, and I was just buzzing. Like, I couldn't stop smiling for probably 48 hours. I literally couldn't stop smiling. And then I remember, and after I scored, I didn't even realise they needed 2 goals. So every time the ball comes in, I was just smashing it up the field. And Lamps going, Bridgie, chill out, they need 2 goals. I went, I didn't know.
Too excited.
I was like, just smashing it up there.
Too excited.
I literally could not stop smiling. So for me, it was just unbelievable. I went from hero to zero that night, but I just because we went out and basically loads of people out just kept buying me drinks and shots, and it just went.
Oh, really?
Went down that
so you
way
let yourself
real
down
quick.
massively after.
Yeah, went down real quick.
Did you
You
go
know, I suppose
out?
when you're on a high like that, you know, and like you say, I suppose if you were out with Chelsea fans,
Yeah,
and,
like I
you know,
literally, I think it was China Whites I walked into, and everyone was just cheering when I walked in. It was brilliant. But
well, everyone watches this, the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
You got to remember, everyone's watching that particular match that night. Everyone knows what's happened, and then obviously you scored the winning goal. You walk in, it's like
it makes me smile now talking about it. Really.
good night.
Yeah, I think so. It was.
Did you get home all right?
I didn't make it home.
No.
I basically almost got thrown out because I was not causing trouble, but I was obviously in a bit of a state. So what the lads did, they covered me in pillows, but then they forgot about me. So everyone's kicked out the club, and I got found by the cleaners cleaning the club.
Okay. I guess it was the Invincibles.
Imagine scoring the winner against the Invincibles.
I was like hero to zero, mate.
Underneath a load of pillows in China Whites.
Oh yeah, there was a double
Cool.
bonus. I think.
Well,
that
can you
as
confirm
well, yeah.
this story? So Roman apparently nodded when asked whether you would get double bonus.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, you got
Yeah.
a double bonus for
But
winning
did you
that game.
get it?
I'm not going to comment just in case it comes back to bite me or him or Chelsea on the arse.
Right. For tax implications, there was no hint of a double bonus. Absolutely.
Definitely didn't get it.
Absolutely none. Yeah, all right, let's move on quick.
So, should we talk about... So Ashley Cole comes into the club. How was that for you when you heard he was being signed? How was your kind of relationship when that started and figuring out what was going on that side? And kind of how did it play out maybe different to how you thought it was going to play out?
I broke my leg, so I was obviously I went through a stage where I was struggling, and then I got back playing. But I was actually playing well. And look, if a club wants to buy another left back, it's football, isn't it? It's what it is. The worst thing was me. We had the same agent, and
How does that
they
work?
basically denied that any meeting took place. Then a week later said, well, it did take place. I was like, well, how can you be my agent if you're just going to lie? Because football's football at the end of the day. And it was just one of the things. I was playing well at the time. So
Yeah,
I
it was quite surprising to me when I heard they were signed, because obviously you were playing well.
Yeah, but with Mourinho, it was kind of, I went through a bad patch and a good patch. And basically, I wasn't up to his standard at certain things, and sometimes I thought he was being harsh. But anyway, I basically turned a corner with him, and it was this one thing he said to me, and it was the week before I broke my leg. He went, "You've been really, really good. Just what I want, basically. And like, got this game, we've got Barcelona, so make sure you're ready." It was like I turned a corner with him. Then I went and broke my leg. Obviously, I got over that, and then when they signed Ash, I was actually playing really well. And it was, I think we were beating Charlton. I was playing well again, and then they went and scored. I think it was like 60th, 70th minute or something like that. And straight away, my number was up. I was off because they had just scored. And then I kind of knew from then that was it, really.
Did you have that kind of scapegoat kind of feel? Like, I mean, I know Joe Cole sometimes feels that he was kind of harshly treated at times. And although he loved Joe Cole, and I'm sure he loved you as a player as well, there was kind of that kind of feeling where, you know, they'd always kind of pick on Joe. Or do you find that?
Oh, you noticed it with some players, and yeah, definitely. I felt a little bit like there was a game at Wigan, and I think I got dragged off at half time. He never even said nothing to me. And like, do you know what it is? The whole team was just rubbish.
Yeah,
nothing was working, nothing was clicking. I was thinking, what are you expecting from me? And I really think I'm one of them people that, I'll be honest with myself. If I'm rubbish, then I get it. Do you know what I mean? But I always thought there's some things where I thought he was a little bit harsh. I always got on well with him in the end. Like, he was great with me when I finished my career and everything. But there's certain moments I thought he was a bit harsh. I lost it once in training and said something to him. And I'm not one of them people that really loses my temper that quickly. And my head was gone. So there's moments definitely where I was like, he's harsh. But there's also moments where he was really good to me.
When you say, as you put it, like, lose your head with Mourinho, do you think that makes him respect you more, or do you think that sort of turns him against you a bit more?
I don't know. He didn't speak to me for quite a few days or weeks, you could say. Yeah, just, I don't know, maybe it wasn't the reaction he was expecting. Maybe I should have reacted differently.
Yeah, you injured yourself. You got injured. Am I right in thinking you had different boots as well?
It was the first time I wore blades. First time,
so first time you wore blades?
First time I wore blades, yeah.
Do you think that was a problem? Did that...
Well, basically, it was like my foot was planted.
Sorry, I was showing you the beverage here. I've just forgotten we're recording stuff. I feel like we're just in the booze.
Yeah.
Very easy to forget.
To be fair, I was waiting for someone to top me up. I didn't know how to do it ourselves.
These were only for display.
Are they? Oh, fuck it. I just forget sometimes. You know when you're interested in what people are saying, I just think I just need a bev now. Anyway, carry on.
Basically, my foot was planted. He slid across me, and my foot didn't move, and it just snapped. So maybe not. I don't know.
So yeah, you're not sure.
From a superstition point of view.
It was hard for me to wear them, if I'm totally honest. Yeah. It was because I'd worn them in training a couple of times, and I'd always wore Puma Kings. Never really changed from the original Puma Kings. And I think the only other thing I did was put my left shin pad on first, and it was really hard for me to change boots, and I did it, and I went and broke my leg. So
fucking hell.
That's ultimate, and we've talked about superstition.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
football.
Yeah, I'm quite superstitious. I've got various ones.
The funniest thing was, Roman ended up picking me up after the game to fly me back home, and I'd obviously the laughing gas or gas in there, but I was laughing on it.
So what, you were on Roman's plane?
He picked me up, so he took me to the local hospital to see what was wrong, and then he picked me up.
But what do you mean by pick me up? Because
they picked me up and then took me to his got a car, took me to the airport, and then he picked me up in his plane, which is unbelievable. But oh my God, the women that were serving on there.
Yeah.
My God. I remember Roman looked close and went, "Don't seem too unhappy now, do you?"
So actually wearing the blades was actually the best thing you ever did. Wow. Oh my God. So talk us through the plane. Unreal.
Oh mate, yes, I'm just like the sofas in there. Like, he had some kind of like a suede material around the outside. It was just so plush. And the food, mate. The food was unreal.
Were you in pain though?
I don't get what you're doing in there. Like, are you lying down?
Lying down. He's got like massive sofa, me lying down with feet up, and then just women coming and just serving food, like smoked salmon, like it might have been oysters. Mate, there's all sorts on there.
But you've got a mask on, right? This is like gas and air.
No, I'd had that before I got on the plane. I think what it was for me, the initial, I don't think the pain was actually pain. Really, it kind of was just numbness, but I knew I broke it. And once they'd given me the gas and air, I was like, yeah, I'm in so much pain. Give me more. If you've never had it before, it's quite nice.
So then you're just lying down on the plane, and they're bringing you oysters
Yeah.
and being served.
And then I realised when I get home, fuck, screwed here. What's going to happen? Yeah, because I didn't really know how bad it was. They didn't think it was that bad until I went to London hospital and realised how bad it was. I basically broke the ankle bone in half and dislocated it and broke my leg.
Fucking
So
hell.
career threatening, really.
Do you still have issues now with that?
I don't have much movement in it. Got a bit, not what I used to have, and a bit of swelling every now and again. But I worked my arse off to get back. It's basically the same. Remember Alan Smith? It was at Man United. It was basically the same as his, really.
Yeah, played in that
It was
game.
bad.
When he was at Man United, it was Man United Liverpool. It happened, I think.
Yeah.
Have you talked about the time you, for whatever reason, had a minibar's worth of booze before? Was it before a game or the night before a game?
I don't think I've ever talked about it, so I don't know how you've heard of it. I don't
Fuck,
remember
it's
it.
written down here, mate. I don't know. It must be out there.
Drank a mini glass. This has come from Siddy. This is Siddy. Siddy's teaching me right up here.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know what? I never really played when Ash was there.
Sidwell shithousing from his holiday.
Shithousing from
It was this
from
was
Universal
this,
Studios.
you couldn't write it really. It's a one-off. This wasn't like I did every Friday before a game, but it was I won't mention any other people that were kind of involved, but yeah, I did basically drink the minibar dry and had a bit of a night and a bit of a party in my room. Small party, I'd say. And I knew I was either on the bench or in the stands. I'm never going to come when Ash plays. And then he gets injured after 12 bloody minutes and I'm on the bench. The thing is, Ash knew as well. Because Ash popped past my room and heard the noise and poked his head in. And then he was just laughing at me when I came on the pitch. But I actually played really well as well, to be fair. Played well, which was like phew for me, really.
that.
Yeah, thank
As
God.
that substitution's happening.
He's just laughing.
sees
He's
the
literally just
board.
smiling, laughing at me. I think I said to him, "You fucking cunt." Like that. I was like, literally, I was fuming.
Oh my God! But you know what? Like we had Righty on, and obviously you're close to Sean Phillips,
Yeah.
right? You were close to him at Chelsea at
Yeah.
that time, and I know you still
He got me in trouble as well. Why is that one coming up as well? Is
No,
it?
no. I was, you can enlighten us if you want.
What story's that, Wayne?
No, you know what? He was just. I
I'll
was just
come back
thinking
to
about
it
that.
after
Well, no,
this.
feel free.
No, go on.
I'm sure it's better. I was just going to say, like, you know, obviously, you had a good team spirit there at that time. I know you still speak to Wright. You're really
Yeah.
close, and we talked about him. You know, the trikes around Cobham.
Yeah.
we were talking, and he told a story about there's just you lot running right around Cobham on trikes.
When you look back, like, what were we doing? Just buying trikes and
Yeah.
just because we couldn't ride motorbikes, we all wanted one for our son, and we'd done a few charity bike rides and stuff, and it just one of them things that passed the time. I think another one I did was buy a load of paintball guns and just go to woods and have paintball fights. It's one of them things you look back and think, you know what I mean? You look back and go, what was I thinking?
This wasn't like an organised paintballing. This was
No,
sort of
just going by.
unofficial in the
We
woods.
just bought
Rogue paintball.
We brought the worst about it was once. I don't know why, but I had it in Jono's car, and I accidentally set it off. They're quite sensitive. Jono's got paint all over
No
his
way.
car.
That's like Biker
Inside.
Grove, isn't it? When I'm blinded. Biker Grove.
But no, the Shaw one where he got me in, well, it was probably my own fault, but I'd gone out in the day to have a few drinks. I knew we had training the next day, but it was going to be not too bad. It was more of a relaxed, like warm down. So I went out early with Craig Bellamy, but put myself in bed at 7 p.m. and then Sean calls me at like 8 and I'm in bed. And I've already had a few. And I went, well, if I go out, you have to make sure I stay at your house and you get me to training. So I knew I'd had a few already. So I went out, and then the next minute I know I'm getting woke up by the people from the hotel going, Man City are wondering where you are. And then I went in to see, obviously, Mark Hughes, and what's going on. I went, I think I said, I've had a bit of trouble at home, and it all got to me. So I went out for a few drinks, and now I'm sat here. He just went to me, thanks for your honesty, but I'm going to have to fine you. 2 weeks' wages. I was devastated. And then all the lads were just laughing. But what I love about it is lads were laughing, but every month I was like, still not come out. And he just never did it. He went, and then when I spoke to him, because the players knew not to do it,
Oh, he never did it.
he went, I just didn't take it off you. Fair play to him.
So he's since said to you, was that like
it was while I was
after-
still there. He went, I'm not going to take it, but the lads now know not to mess around or do that.
Wow.
I went, I went, well, it was Sean's fault anyway.
Oh my God! What about England for you, Bridgie? Because I suppose, like, obviously, when Ash arrives at Chelsea, you know that's a blow. But like with England as well, you'd have had 100 caps if Ashley Cole didn't exist.
Yeah,
You've got a good few caps.
Yeah, I got a few.
But you know what?
Yeah,
like,
I just didn't enjoy it in the end.
Yeah. Was that hard for you going to kind of meet up and?
I didn't mind meeting up.
Is that where you met Crouchy?
Under 18s, I reckon.
21s?
Yeah, under 18s, under 21s, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, the full England. Yeah, I'd say proper got to know him.
Yeah.
So 2002. What was your kind of like initiation to England? I suppose like were you because you went to the 2002 World Cup. That was before me, wasn't it?
My debut. Yeah, it was before you actually.
Well, I went 2006 was my first major tournament.
I made my debut against Holland, played really well, 45 minutes, came off of a broken toe, and just played really well, just played myself into the team really. Not into the team, into the squad. And then I actually got on the pitch for a few minutes, which is great. But you know what it's like, as a footballer, you don't want to just sit on the bench. It's great I went to it, and great I got to get on the pitch, but there's nothing I'm really like.
Was it ever a goal for you, would you say, playing for England?
Oh, I think it's every kid's dream that likes football to go and play for England.
Yeah.
And it's great that I got that far, but I just didn't really play much. So
do you view it? Is it more? What's the kind of feeling with it? Would you say? Is it disappointment?
I'm glad I played for England. I look back and I said I should be proud of myself that I'd done it, and I got as far as I did. But I'm also like, it would have been nice to have gone a bit further. And it's. I would have loved to have got on the pitch while Ash was playing and maybe played in front of him a little bit because we'd done that once or twice and I thought it worked well.
That would have worked well, yeah.
I think it would have worked really well because he would have bombed on, I would have covered him and it worked well one game. But you know what's frustrating with those things is we did it once and, you know, maybe the game we weren't winning 2 or 3-0 and then it's like, oh, it's because he's done that and it rather than something else.
Small margins, isn't it?
It's a difficult thing to really go and do. And when you've got attacking players like, I think there's Stuart Downing and
Joe Cole was left.
Joe Cole would play there as well. It's probably hard for it to go and play me there or Ashley there. And
how many caps did you end up with?
It's 36 or 37.
Yes, I mean, that's still good.
Good. But it's one of them things.
I've still got you as the little medal in the books. You know, it's like
it's just one of them things. You go and it's. For you, it's different. You're a striker. You go, you get on the pitch and you play. For me, it got to a stage where I'm like, I could be on holiday for 7 weeks.
But you were then in a situation where it even needs to progress.
I just found it really frustrating, and no one would really know apart from my mum and my dad and my friends because they call me, go, how you doing? I went, just fucking bored shitless. I'm not going to fucking play.
Yeah.
Just like. And you never know he's going to get an injury. And I'm not thinking, I hope he gets injured. You know why? Because he was always one of our best players, if not the best player in some of the tournaments. And he was the best left back in the world, or still could say he was the best left back in the world. Do you know what I mean? It's Roberto Carlos, him.
Yeah, he was like consistently our best player every year.
Consistently, he's just so good at defending, and he'd always help out going forward.
Yeah.
Just in terms of relationship with different managers, then we've heard quite a bit about Mourinho, a little bit about Sven there. A manager we talk about a fair bit on the podcast, Avram Grant, and we've heard legendary stories.
So I think it was who told us the story about Avram? Joe Cole.
It changed the perception.
Joe Cole just said Avram is like
a
full hammer. Said he loves a night out. Like, I just didn't have that impression of Avram Grant, but he was like, nah, he's like...
Yeah, he loves it.
He loves it.
He loves it. Yeah, he loves it.
I love the fact that he loves it.
I love the fact that he loves it, but I honestly can't... And I hate it because I really like him, but I don't know how... I can understand him being a coach. I don't know how he's become a manager, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe because of the managers that I'd had. Hoddle, Mourinho... Strachan, they're all really good managers, and I wouldn't put him in the same category, to be honest.
I think it's just for us. It's this phrase we say we're going. If you're going on a big night, we say we're going full Avram.
Yeah, and Joe Cole said he's seen him out a few, like, you know, And he was
Joe Cole's seen more than what I've seen, definitely,
Right.
because I've heard the stories.
So if we say if you're going out full hammer, you're going full Avram.
I'm going for Avram after
Full
this,
Yeah,
by
I know
the way.
you are, yeah. Right, listen, I know we've done this with Rio recently, but we do this with people that we enjoy the conversation with. We've got to do another double episode, I think. There's so much in this. We'll go again back stronger next week with another Wayne Bridge episode.